you got to finish, right? You don't get the guy all hot and bothered, walk right up to the season and go like, okay, now we're not talking. And that's what he did. Oh, no, we're in season. We don't negotiate in season. Like, okay. Like, so the owner, without Zach Taylor having anything to do with it, has created this weird dynamic with the receiver.
Right. But I can see the fact that they said, you know what, this guy is a little bit different. He's a difference maker. We're willing to talk. And then when they talked, they're like, no. You know, he was throwing out numbers. They're just, no, we're not doing that. I mean, so maybe the best course for him or the front office would have been just not to start the conversations in the first place, because you're going to figure if the guy's making noise that he's going to want top of the food chain money. And you know, he probably can't expect to get Justin Jefferson, but he can expect to get close, and that's a lot. And if you weren't willing to go to there, then you probably shouldn't have started talking.
Yeah, that's. But I think it creates problems in the locker room that Zach Taylor then has to deal with. So I'm hoping Mike Brown's goofness is now starting to ruin what is the foundation of a good team.
Because they don't have those problems here.
No. And the NFC looked pretty impressive on week 1. The Bills now look very impressive. You know, the slow start against the Cardinals, but the last 3 halves of football, they've been pretty damn good.
Now, I think that the Bengals are pretty unique in the modern. Isn't his money, their family's money, was made by being the owners of the Bengals.
I don't think they have any industry.
Right. I mean, that, you know, I'm sure they invested it or whatever, but that's how they made their money, owning an NFL team. Now, that's such good business now that you should not be thinking in terms of 1983 or whatever. You're making just gobs of money without even opening the turnstiles. I mean, so operate like a regular NFL franchise. You're not trying to build your wealth. Well, but you've got gigantic wealth every year, guaranteed.
Yes,
and it's just going to grow.
But that's my point. Is like, if he is cheap, then why did he even talk to him?
Right. Yes, he's got to know what the price would be.
Like I think his dumbness gets a pass because of his cheapness. Everybody just throws it at the feet of the cheapness, but I think it was actually dumb what he was doing. To your point, if you're
aware that you're cheap.
We all knew where CeeDee Lamb was going. We all knew where, once Justin Jefferson's number was out there, we knew where everybody else fit. Right? Like, Jerry Jones just wants attention.
Yeah,
we know what that is.
You're not going to get him for 60 cents on the dollar.
Yeah. So
if they weren't going to go to that level, then they probably shouldn't have bothered starting the conversation.
You can't give Burrow 53 or whatever he has, and then nickel and dime the wide receiver he's thrown to.
The dumb thing is, it's an interesting thing. You almost wonder if there's a little bit of Irsay. He just didn't fall into those first overall picks. Those happened to be those 2 years. You know what I mean? In terms of how Brown is as an owner.
No, there's no doubt that. I mean, when he took Achilles Smith, they stunk for a decade. When he took Joe Burrow, it turned around. I mean, he also did make a good hire on Zach Taylor. Let's be fair about that.
Who was not at the top of a lot of coaching lists. No. People was like, the old Oklahoma State guy?
No.
Really? Okay.
Where was he? I don't even remember where the hell he was. Was he the Packers quarterback coach?
I think he was a quarterback coach, but I can't say. It's been quite a while now, so I don't exactly remember. But
maybe he took him because he was cheap, and he just happened to.
And he happened to be good.
He was good.
Yeah, he was the Rams QB coach in 2018.
Okay, that's right.
He'd been there previously. Their assistant wide receivers coach the previous year.
But he did make
he had previously
good
been in the Bengals. He was their offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach in 2016. So he'd bounced around a bit.
Okay.
Wow, he moved around. Dolphins, Bengals in 2016, Rams in 2017 and 2018, back to the Bengals in 2019.
All right. Let's take a break. We come back. Let's get into some of these college games. We've got 2 of them playing tonight. K-State and KU are in action. We'll talk to Danny Clinkscale about what he thinks on those games. We'll do that next here in the program. Danny's always brought to you by our friends at Easton Roofing. Kansas City's best when it comes to putting a roof over your family or your business head is Easton Roofing. You know, the most exclusive commercial roofing manufacturers in the country, like Carlisle, JM. They only supply the very best roofing companies around. They supply Easton Roofing. That means Easton Roofing can write warranties on commercial flat roofs up to 30 years. Only a handful of companies across the country can say that. Find them online at eastonroofing.com.
More of Danny's Reasonably Irreverent podcast after this. Hey Kansas City, Joe Spiker, Easton Roofing back for another beautiful springtime in Kansas City. We are proud to announce our renewed partnership with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Kansas City. Starting in 2024, a portion of every job sold will be donated to a cause close to my heart. I was a big, and I encourage you to volunteer. And if you hire us for service on your residential or commercial roof, you'll know that a portion of the profits will go to a great cause. So call us at 913-257-5426. Easton Roofing. Integrity matters.
All right, the Twin Peaks end of the hour answer. Since 1961, what player has had the longest streak of plate appearances without a strikeout? Luis Arraez currently is at 124 for the Padres. He hasn't struck out since August 10th. Who has the longest streak ever? 223.
Wow. Tony Gwynn?
And I...
Nope, he is fifth at 170.
This is my questions per
This
se,
is Danny's
so
Danny
I know.
gave me this one.
There's a local tie.
Ooh.
I don't know the local tie.
Oh, I do. You don't?
I don't offhand.
Oh, wow.
I know. I mean, I've known this guy's name for longest time. He held a record.
What year did it happen?
1976.
Rod Carew?
Nope. I have a hint. Let me give you a hint. See if you can get this. You might know this. You kind of know. Until Willie Wilson broke it, he had the record for at bats in a single season at 699.
Juan Samuel?
Nope.
Not Juan Samuel. But he's a Philly, right?
He was a Philly. You're on it. He
was also notably a pirate.
He was.
Not Bill Madlock.
Nope. He was really money.
Yeah, he's giving me this over here. I'm
Dave Cash.
Dave Cash, damn it.
Dave Cash is from Kansas City.
Oh, is he really?
Yes.
How did you not know that, Curtis?
I don't know. I'm looking at his page and it says he was born in Utica, New York.
But he
may have come to Kansas City.
He had
so
you're just making things up.
No,
now,
he
Danny.
lived in Kansas City
I
at
trust
some point.
Yeah, like the 3 nights he was here playing the Royals.
No. He's from Kansas City. I think he went to high school here.
He paid an earnings tax for 3 games once when he came through with the K.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a whole article about a Rise streak, and it's mind-blowing. It's in MLB today, and he almost always takes the first pitch. He almost always swings like crazy after that. He has seen 93 strikes in this streak, and he has swung at 93 strikes and hit them all. He has not swung and missed at 93 strikes during this streak, which is a month.
How many balls did he swing at?
He's swinging. He's swinging a lot after the first strike. He has the highest percentage of balls in play on a 1-strike count in the majors.
It says in the 124 plate appearances since he last struck out, he's faced 445 pitches. So that's almost 4 per.
He has seen
so
116 2-strike pitches during this stretch. Not a single one has become strike 3. And he swung at 91 of those.
You remember beginning of the year they were getting all excited about how they had bat speed technology now, and they were, grading it, and they were talking about what elite was and everything. He was one of the lowest bat speeds out there.
Yeah, he
which speaks to he has no power.
He does not.
But if you have no power, what are you going to do? Try to launch angle your way to 9?
Right.
Or do you go, you know what? I'm going to go the other direction, and I'm going to be softball guy.
Right.
I'm just going to lob singles everywhere.
And he does hit the ball pretty hard a lot. He had 10 home runs last year.
How many's he got this year?
3.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I
he's in San Diego now.
But I think he's completely sold out to just bat on ball. Why do you choke up? You choke up because the bat head's not as far away from the hands. It's easier to put the bat head on the ball but you're sacrificing the power of the extra velocity of the bat. Well, that's kind of his mindset all the time with the bat in his hands.
Well, his quote is, "Everybody hates strikeouts, but especially me."
So he's watched a lot of 14 and 15 Royals tape.
The thing is, in in this day and age, not everybody does really hate strikeouts,
No.
clearly.
No.
They're just willing to strike out.
Going for his third straight batting title.
We give away Twin Peaks. Great spot for you to go watch some football. As we mentioned, KU K-State playing tonight. We got the Chiefs this weekend. 29-degree man-sized draft beers. TVs everywhere. A made-from-scratch menu. And, of course, the most scenic views anywhere in town. No better place to get the fellas together and go check out the game than your nearest lodge, Independence, Olathe, and in the Northland, Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views. And remember, whenever there's a fight, they are your fight headquarters. MMA, boxing, they've got it on. It's at Twin Peaks. Always showing the fights at Twin Peaks, Independence, Olathe, and in the Northland. Danny Clinkscale is with us here in the program. This is kind of an important game for KU.
I think so. I think that they also seem to have, if you looked at their schedule a couple years ago and you saw Illinois and then UNLV, you'd be like, well, that's not so much. But Illinois is better. I don't think they're going to be anything important in the Big Ten this year, but they're better. And UNLV looks pretty salty. They look like they're a team that's sort of on the move. And they ran the ball very effectively last week, and their offense has been pretty dynamic. So pretty cool.
I think the fact that they lost last week, and it happens, they lost to a Big Ten team at their place. I think it's frustrating for the fans because they feel like they were the better team, right? But
their defense played well, and they did a lot of things right. Their quarterback was bad.
But if you drop this one to a UNLV team that's been pretty good, by the way, since Barry Odom got there, if you drop this one, you lose a lot of your momentum. And they are still trying to fund. We had Travis Goff in here a couple of weeks ago, and they're still working on funding that whole project. I mean, they're asking for lots and lots and lots of money. Winning football and basketball is the best way to get money for these projects. I think they lose a lot of momentum on that as well.
I would say so. I think it's pretty easy for Kansas football to lose momentum. Now, the biggest thing is I think, yes, money, but also enthusiasm. I'm not going to panic as somebody who looks at Kansas and builds, because I don't think Lance Leipold is someone who's going to panic, and I think that he's someone who's going to build the program to a solid level. But yes, you lose momentum. It's easy to lose momentum within a college football season. The guys are young. They don't feel as invincible as they did before.
Well, you lose to UNLV.
Yeah, and then
maybe UNLV goes into the rankings, and so it doesn't lose that bad. But I really think that'll take a lot of wind out of the sails. I mean, it's been nothing but upward progress for Kansas to this point. And this would be a big, like I said, and Barry Odom's doing a great job. I hung out with the UNLV broadcast crew, and, the color analyst used to play quarterback there. And, they are all in on Barry Odom. I mean, I think he's done a lot of maturing as a coach from his time at Missouri. It sounds like he's a lot better with the media. He was always kind of a gruff, pain in the ass when he was at Missouri. And I think there was kind of like you kind of need some people on your side. Because he wasn't that bad at Missouri, but he had endeared himself to no one to go save him. You know what I mean? And I think he's really done it differently. And they're all in there. I mean, and they come in here feeling pretty good. I can tell you that right now.
And also, Barry Odom he's all Missouri. He's playing Kansas. I mean, I'm sure he's all fired up. They played him pretty well in the bowl game. It was an entertaining game. And you follow up with that West Virginia, that's no place, I don't think, to gain momentum. That's probably a borderline, sleepy, tough game. So, yeah, I think it is an important game.
Well, on the topic of the fans, they did. I mean, Kansas was pretty comfortable the last half quarter of that bowl game, and I think a lot of people would know that there's been some change. But I mean, if they come in and win 9 months after you beat them, I think like 49-30 or whatever that game was, there is going to be. Even I don't know if this would be a fair question, but the question will come up. Are we going? Fans will ask? Is this program going in the wrong?
Well, and I think there's pressure on Jalen Daniels. He has not looked good.
No, what he did in one game is go out and at least remove any thought that they would need to spend time on a Heisman campaign.
Yeah,
right away.